I'm going to go ahead and record this class. And let's start sitting. And if you can have a chair or a nice surface close by, it will be good. And you can also do all of the same moves without the chair. So if you're not a fan of the prop, you don't have to use it. That's also fine. So I'm sitting on a blanket right now, and I'm just crossing my shin bones. I'm going to place my hands on my hips. And then I'm going to take a few breaths to just inhale, lengthen my spine, get it a little bit longer. And then exhale and try to feel my center knit together. That's going to help guide us in this practice. So spend a few breaths. Letting your rib cage widen, letting your breath travel deep, and then exhaling. So feel the spine lengthen up. If it helps you to close your eyes to focus on your breathing, go ahead and give that a go. Good. After your next breath, come to let your hands rest on your thighs. And I want you to take some very, very small micro nods of your head. So this bending and flexing of the neck happens right in the middle of your neck. And I want you to feel that subtle, subtle movement just down and up. So the more released we are right here around basically through C3 through C5, this can really help us improve the carriage of our head. Good. So I want you to find where your neck feels comfortable, like your neck is totally at the right spot for you. And then bring your fingertips just above your ears. And then I want you to walk your fingertips and see. So when your neck carriage is perfect, the ears are slightly above your brow line, right? A lot of us spend more time with either our chin up or chin down from there. So take a moment and see if you can feel that on your spot, on your own face. So your ears just slightly above your brow line, and just pay attention to how your neck feels in that position and see if that can be kind of your resting neck position. So holding that alignment, take your chin over one shoulder, take your chin towards the opposite shoulder. So you're just stretching the sides of your neck, and you'll keep your collarbones anchored where they are. So if it helps you to put a hand on your heart as you move, and you don't have to force anything with your neck. Let this movement, especially now, be really soft. Good. And then once again, you're going to move your chin up, maybe a little bit higher, and then the chin down. And I want you to pay attention to what you feel in your neck as you stretch the neck and as you flex it. Good. See if you can return to that neutral carriage, ears just slightly over the brows. And then let one ear travel down, let the other ear travel down. So just really with some consciousness, some intention, let the head move side to side. Don't try to force a stretch here. Just pay attention to the soft movement. Letting that tissue. So one of the things that happens are your discs there in your vertebra are kept nice and fluid through this movement, right? So when you stretch to the left, you're applying compression, and then the fluid in the disc moves to the right, and then vice versa. So taking these little moments can help you keep the discs happy and healthy just by creating movement. Okay, so then from there, let's pause and just roll your shoulders for a second. Say hello, shoulders. Hola, hombros. How are you? Good. You can try rolling just one shoulder by itself. Forward, up, back, down. Really feeling the outside, the head of the humerus bone. You're just sort of drawing a big circle there. Try that circle in the opposite direction. Notice if you feel any discomfort. Don't have to force anything. Good. Let that movement be exploration. And now let's try that same movement with your opposite shoulder. This is my left shoulder. Just see what that forward, up, back, down, what happens. Good. Change the direction. What's happening with your neck carriage? Can you kind of keep your neck nice and neutral as you're working on your shoulders? Good. All right. And then from here, let's let one shoulder, just move them together or apart, but be a little playful there. Good. Let's take two shoulders up together and then down, up and then down, up and then down. Good. So now bring your fingertips here to the outside of your shoulder. This is my right arm. And pretend that your elbow or your humerus bone is the hand of a clock, and you're just gonna let the elbow touch 1 through 12 as you circle. And think about the movement of a second hand. It's really fluid, it's really consistent. See if you can mirror that. And then take the arm in the other direction, so you're going back in time. Good. All right, now I want you to hold that elbow pretty much up towards 12 o'clock, towards midnight, towards noon. And let the elbow stretch up with your hand here. So you're just letting the armpit get a little bit of movement. Good. Exhale, release the arm. Let's try that with the opposite hand. I'm trying these movements just tonight, you all, with my eyes closed as much as possible. Good. So you're gonna, again, with your left arm, pass 1 through 12. Good. And then you can take that going back in time. Good. And then let's exhale. Bring your so with your left arm now, let the elbow reach up alongside your ear. You're just getting a little stretch in your armpit. So these micro movements can really be helpful to the shoulder overall. Again, slow, steady. Good. So now two hands here on your shoulders for a moment. And exhale, let the elbows come kind of tap in front of your chest. Try not to concave your thoracic spine, but keep your thoracic spine nice and long as you bring your elbows behind you and then bringing your elbows in front of you. So this will sort of stretch your shoulders. Good. Try that one more time. Good. And then with the elbows wide, now walk the fingertips up the back of your neck and bring your hands behind your head and cup them firm here. So let's lift your elbows up and then pull your scapula and shoulder blades down and let your head rest comfortably in your hands. This is again providing a little stretch to your armpits. And just breathe here for a moment. Your breath can move in and out of your nose. Good. Now use an exhale and melt the top of your head down. Estoy dando clase de yoga, Bronman. Y vamos a terminar. Good. So now you'll inhale, let your head, chest lift all the way up. And then slowly, keeping your hands firm behind your head, let your head come down and feel a stretch in the back of the neck. But let's do this one more time. Inhaling fully and exhaling, lowering that back down. Good. Inhale, pause with the top of the head. So everybody place your fingertips, kind of lightly tap the top of your head and let that spot move a little bit closer to the sky. So maybe place one hand over the head, another hand over the opposite hand, and then pump the arms up. Just getting a little movement through your shoulders. Good. And then let's pause, the two arms lifted. Shoulder blades can move down the back, so you'll inhale, stretch up, and then exhale, let the shoulder blades drop. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, shoulder blades drop. Last time, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, the shoulder blades drop. Take opposite hand to elbow. And then exhale again, a little stretch. Now we're going to move the rib cage side to side. Good. So you're opening your armpit chest and then letting your weight really stay anchored as much as you can through your sitting bones. As you come side to side here. Good, let's pause, sitting upright. Bring your forearms in front of your sternum and then reach your arms to the right and to the left. So you'll inhale, pass through the center, and then reach the arms to the right. A la izquierda, a la derecha. So now let's pause, release, relax the arms for a moment. Let the hands come rest on your shin, and now take your focus, your awareness, right between your sternum and your navel. So you're going to take movement from the center there of your body, stretching forward and stretching back. So if you're having any tension in your low back, really pay attention to the movement of your vertebra. Remembering this forward and back, we're giving a little, we're encouraging, promoting the hydration of your discs there. Good. All right. And then from there, I'm going to put two thumbs at the base of my sternum, pull my elbows back, and exhale, create a little rotation. So now I'm just reaching my ribs to the right and to the left, a la derecha, a la izquierda. Good. And I'm focusing on creating this twist right here from my abdominal muscles. And I'm keeping my spine pretty long while I'm twisting. Good. All right. So now I'm going to take my right hand behind my back, mirror me if that's easier for you, or go opposite, whatever makes most sense. Good. And so from here, one hand on my low back, one hand behind my head, and I'm going to exhale and just feel the shape of my spine as I create a little cat-cow. Okay, this should also be stretching your shoulder joint. Good. Let's go back up and lengthen, switching the position of your two hands. One hand right at the base of your thoracic spine, one hand behind the head. And feel the shape of your spine as you stretch. Also opening your armpit, opening the chest, and stretching the shoulders. Good. Take this a couple more times. Good. Let's inhale, sit up. And now from from underneath your shoulders, just slide your hands down and unfold your two legs. Good. So now with our legs unfolded, let's just exhale and round down. Again, creating another little bit of cat-cow. Rounding through your center, feeling your abdominal muscles supporting you, and then exhale, finding some length. Let's try that one more time. Good. Find as long a spine as you can make, and then slide, reach your arms out to the side, right back in. So you'll exhale, allow the arms to float out, and right back down. Again, where is your neck neutral, right? So you check that position of the chin, the eyes, the relationship to from the ears to the eyes. Good. And then with the arms floating out, create a little twist. Good. Top of the head still reaching up. Good. Let's pause. Take one hand to the opposite ear. This is my right hand. Stretch the neck, stretch the shoulder. And we'll release. Opposite side, hand to ear. Stretch the neck, stretch the shoulder. Spread through your fingers. Good. And then we're going to bring both hands back to the top of the head for a moment. Lengthen up. And then the arms can float forward. All right, so now let's reach opposite hand toward your foot. Your knees can stay bent. We're just going to exhale and create a little twist. Inhaling and exhaling to twist. When you twist, move your whole spine forward and keep your sitting bones down, anchored on the floor. Good. As you reach, reaching. Good. So now bring your two palms together, and then you're going to tap opposite elbow to knee. Slightly moving across your body. Again, applying a little compression to those inner organs. Same thing happens to your organs as you move. So creating movement from your trunk is really good for the organic body in there, because again, you're changing the compression of the liquid, right? So you're just letting those organs kind of clean out. Good. So now let's pause, open your two knees, open your two arms, opposite hand to ankle. Take a big stretch. Estirando profundamente. Good. Let's sit all the way up. Exhale, move across the body, a big stretch. Trying to relax, release your hips. Good. Let's inhale, take your two arms up. Take two hands, same ankle. And then I want you to kind of lightly pump the arms as you stretch forward. So feel the spine, the neck stay nice and long. And you'll just lightly pump the elbows. Good. Let's exhale, sit up. I'm going to pull, allow this left foot to come in closer to me. And now reach my right leg out. And now from here, I'm going to rock the weight side to side. Feeling a big stretch through the inner thigh. Good. If you need to sit up on a higher surface, you can do just that. Good. And now from here, let's pause. Take your two arms, and you're going to pull opposite elbow to thigh and right back up, stretch the other way. Good. Let's pull opposite elbow towards, or I'm sorry, same elbow to thigh, and then reach in the opposite direction of that leg. Good. Up and bending, pulling in, and exhale, coming back and stretching away. Up and over, and up and down. Up, now over the leg, now back and away. Good. So let's hold. Stretch towards your extended leg. Good. And then check in with your neck. Trying to create a little lightness, a little looseness here. You could even take a hand here behind your head. Offer a little support while you stretch your chest and shoulder. Good. You could even come a little bit further down. And now you're going to exhale, reach away from the leg, take the opposite arm up, and once again, this hand would travel behind the head, deepening the stretch. Very nice. We'll exhale, pull that up, and then rock your weight slightly back on your sitting bones to change the position of your two legs. And then let's take your weight side to side here. Nice and light. Good. So again, this lateral side bending movement, really useful, really natural. If it feels too tight, make your sitting prop taller. So a chair, a big floor cushion. Good, let's inhale, extend the arms now, creating this movement. Good, and now we're gonna extend over one leg, floating down. Inhale up, exhale over the opposite leg and back. Good, so we'll take this a few times. Good, you can do this with a bent arm. Good, of that arm that's coming down. Excellent. And now we're going to pause, stretching toward the extended leg. Good. And again, you can take a hand behind you here to help support the head. Your neck is feeling like it needs a little rest. Good. Well, exhale, lift, open, and now try same thing, other side. First, just stretch the arm out, and then potentially bring the hand behind the head. Good. Let's exhale, release, and bring that back up. Let's extend two legs out for just a moment. And you can bend and straighten the knees, just a hair here. Good. And then from here, just lightly move your weight forward and back, coming forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Good. Walk your hands over to one side, kind of. So I've got my hands crisscrossed, and then I'm going to reach out. Good. So this is deepening a stretch between my ribs and the back of my sacrum. Good. And then you can kind of grapevine the hands all the way around towards the opposite side. Hold that little crisscross, stretching towards your leg that's extended there. Good, and then we're gonna inhale, move back to the center, and exhale, bring ourselves up. Let's slide our legs in, and inhale, sit up tall for just a moment. And again, check your neck. Feel that place where your ears slightly above the brow line. And then you're gonna exhale and pull back. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pull back. Feel the belly connect as you lower. Inhale, open up. And exhale, feel your belly muscles connect as you lower down. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Now hold down here with one arm. This is my right arm. I'm just going to reach out and pull in, reach out and pull in, reach out and in. Now I'm going to try that with my left arm, just out and in, the palm facing the same direction the whole time, paying attention to healthy range of motion. Good. Now your two hands out and into the sides of you, out and in, out and in, out and in. Pause, come forward for just a moment, opposite hand to wrist, And then take a stretch. Oh, I said opposite hand to wrist, but I meant ankle. Opposite hand to ankle. Shin over one shoulder, over the opposite shoulder. So when you're here, make sure the top of the head is facing the ceiling when you do these twists. Good. Inhale, coming right back through your center. Let's go ahead, take that in the opposite direction, opposite hand to ankle. Good. And try to move that bottom rib cage towards the opposite thigh. Good. Let's inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, move down the legs one more time. Your hands can rest on your kneecaps for a moment. Belly is pulling in. Now one arm up and then down. Opposite arm lifts up and then down. One arm up and then down. Opposite arm up and then down. If you're feeling comfortable with this, try taking two arms down and up together. I have no idea who could possibly be calling me. All right, down and up. Good. So now from here, inhale, slide the hands right back down the shins. Good. Let the head rest towards, so the top of your head is now stretching towards your feet. Well, inhale, take your hands to the sides, and exhale, extend two legs. So sitting tall in Dandasana pose, pressing the hands in at your sides, top of the head rising up, shoulder blades squeezing together. Inhale, stretch, reach the arms up. And now exhale, bring your hands forward so they can come to your shin bones, your thighs, wherever is comfortable for you. Fold at the arms and allow the sternum to travel forward more deeply. Actively anchoring, so spreading through the toes. Letting your quadriceps press down to stretch your hamstrings more deeply. You could take your hands again, hands to your ankles, pull, stretch forward. And then we'll inhale, come stretch up for a moment. And exhale, let's pull the legs back in. And we're gonna now come onto our knees. So I've got a big padding cushion here to aid me in this. Get whatever props you might need. And from here, we're gonna begin a little simple cat-cow. So start to put your breath into this movement, the head and the tailbone coming up together and lowering down, reaching towards the floor together. They'll come up together and then right back down. Last time. Good. And then let's take a moment, slide your left leg out, back behind you, and pressing the feet there into the floor. See if you can reach the heel, feel a deep stretch in your calf, and then rock and bring that weight forward. Good. Checking in again with the carriage of your neck, making sure your neck feels long. Good. So now you'll pause with that heel reaching back. And now try to lift the leg just a few times from a steady hip. Good. Exhale, release, bring that leg in. Wag your tail now side to side. Good, so I'm taking my hips towards my right heel, and now my hips towards my left heel. Good, and then we're gonna pause here and let your right leg stretch back, and then once again, reach through the ankle joint till you feel a deep stretch in your calf. Then you can kind of back off of it and then roll right back into it. And then you can hold for a moment that stretch there. Press deep into it. And then exhale and lift the leg just a few times. Feeling the leg slowly, slowly, slowly come down towards the floor and right back up. Good. Let's exhale, bring that knee in. And now draw little circles with your tailbone. So just imagine good. And you can circle your tailbone in the opposite direction, getting a big stretch into your back. Good. So now we'll pause and bring your forearms here to the floor and let the top of your head go to the floor. And once again, you can rock this weight a little forward, a little back. Find the place where you can take your tailbone towards the sky, your arms out, and maybe even your sternum a little closer to the floor. Let's exhale, push down with our feet and bring ourselves right up. Bring your hands here onto your low back for a moment. Anchor your knees underneath you and stretch really more than you think about a back bend. Think about vertical thighs and your sternum lifting. Give this a few breaths. Good, and then from here, you're just gonna slide your two hands together down your back. Stretch the arms away from you for a moment. And then we'll exhale and let the head come down to the floor once again. Good, we'll exhale, release. And now if you have a chair or a surface that's handy and close by, so I'm gonna just put my hands here, curl my 10 toes underneath me, and exhale, lift my hips back. So you can now stretch your tailbone, lift it up, maybe even for a moment, lift your heels. And then exhale, stretch your heels away from your toes. Really activate your feet. And stretch. And then we can inhale, look forward for a moment. So if you have your blanket here, slide it out of the way. I'm going to bring my right foot forward and my left leg a little bit back. And from here, just in this little sort of supported lunge, I'm going to bend my front knee, straighten my back knee until I feel big stretch in the calf. So now pause for just a moment and reach one arm behind you. Feel that work in the leg. Good. Taking the arm back to the chair, reach the other arm behind you. Good. Two hands back to the chair. Now you're going to lengthen your front leg and walk your hands down and take a long stretch in Parsvottanasana. We'll inhale, walk your hands back up your chair. Step the back foot in. Step your front foot back. So now this is my right leg reaching back behind me, and I'm going to begin in this little supported lunge, just bending and straightening. Good. You could do this with your hands on the floor too, if that was more comfortable for you. This is just a nice assist for some of us who really working without the blocks in these standing poses is not comfortable, or for those of us who can do it, but you just want to have a different sensation. All right, so now from here, let's go ahead and pause that little micro bend. I want you to reach one arm back. Notice that the rest of the body stays still in that reach, right? So you just feel all those stabilizing muscles wake up. Excellent. And then sweeping that arm back forward, opposite arm back, give it a few breaths. Good. And then exhale, bring two hands to the chair, and then you can stretch forward, really activating through the legs, lifting your 10 toes. Inhale, looking up for a moment. Exhale, step your 2 feet in. So now I'm just going to walk my right foot and my left foot wide. Let my, oh, I mean, look at how perfect this is. My head's just resting on the top of the chair. And then I'm going to bend my knee and stretch side to side here just a few times, opening the knee. Inhaling, letting the two hips come up, and then exhale, reaching away. Good. In this position now, inhale. Let's see, let your head come and rest on your chair, and let your hip bones keep reaching so that the tailbone is really coming all the way up towards the sky. Your kneecaps aren't locked out, but they're not bent necessarily. You want to think link through your kneecaps, link through the legs as best you can. Good. And then from here, pushing your hands back into the chair, I want you to turn. These are my left toes. I'm going to just reach out, walk that leg out just a hair, bend and straighten my knees, kind of like a modified warrior two. Good. Just working the inner thigh. Good. Turning those toes back in. Try that same stretch on the opposite side, bending, straightening the knee. Good. And then you'll exhale, turn them in. Take your hands back up the chair. Step your 2 feet in. And then we're going to exhale and slowly come down to the floor. Taking your time here. I'm going to just angle this down slightly. And we're going to exhale. Let your feet come up on your chair. Good. And if you need any little extra padding, or if your neck is uncomfortable when you're on the floor, you could always put a blanket underneath your head. And that again will help you restore that nice, natural, relaxed curve. So do the things that will make this feel good to you for a moment. And then from here, open. I'm just going to open and close my right leg in and out in the hip socket. Just letting it open and close. Good. Now I'll try that on the left side. So the knee joint just opens and closes here. Good. And then let's take your right leg from here, just extend at the knee and then lower down. So the heel comes to the chair and then it reaches towards the sky. Good. And then we're going to leave the leg up for a moment, and I want you to rotate out and in at the head of your femur bone. Good, and now you can draw little circles with the leg. Good, and then we'll let those circles move in the opposite direction. Good, we'll pause, bringing that leg back down. And then let's try same bit of lift on the opposite side. So the heel pulls down. You exhale to extend. Good, and then we're going to work the inner outer turn of the leg, out and in. Out and in. And then we'll make some circles here. And then circle in the opposite direction. Good, so now you're going to pause. Let your two legs anchor deep into the chair and then try lifting your pelvis off of the floor. So tailbone lifts, sacrum, lumbar spine, rib cage. Comes all the way up. You can really press down through the feet, feeling the glutes rise, rise, rise. And then exhale, lower down all the way to the floor. Again, if you don't like working with the chair, just put your feet on the floor. All these exercises can be done just that way. The chair just gives you an opportunity to kind of target your hamstrings a little differently. Good. Let's set the bones down and then lift one more time and hold here for just a moment. Give this hold a few breaths. Exhale, release, let that come down. Good, and then just take a moment, relaxing. Draw one knee over your chest, bring your hands to the knee joint, and then exhale, let that knee just open to the side. Exhale, let the leg come across you here. Opposite hand to knee, apply a little pressure. You feel a stretch on the outside. Outside of the hip, inner of the thigh, let that leg come down. The left knee can move in now. Big stretch here. Good. Take your knee out into that opposite elbow, opposite arm. Let it float to the side. And then we're going to exhale, take the knee across your body. Let the leg cross there, applying a little pressure with the hand. Good. And then from there, two legs coming in. Take a second. We're going to bring your index fingers here to your temples. And I want you to just kind of lightly, lightly rub. And now let the index fingers move a little closer to the ears. Good. And then you're going to take your index fingers between the ear and the jaw. And just apply some pressure here. I'm using my index and middle finger, drawing little circles. Good. You can let those fingers come down the jaw now. Just kind of walk your jawline. You can lightly just kind of tap around your throat. And then same thing, apply just a little bit of light tapping across the face. If you encounter a part in your nasal passages, in your breathing apparatus here that feels a little clogged, sore, congested, just apply some pressure, the amount that feels good to you. Good, and then bring your thumbs here to the in between your eyebrows and the top of your nose. And same thing, just apply a little pressure. If it feels nice to kind of walk the thumbs across the skull there, across the eye socket. And now the fingertips can move into the scalp. You can rub here the top of your head. Good, let's take opposite hand to ear and just rub your one ear for a moment. And then try that same thing on the other side. And then place your two hands on your belly and take some full deep breaths here. We're going to try a few light rounds of breath of fire. So we're going to call this, I don't know, breath of breath of something like fire, breath of smolder, but not exactly a fire. So what I want you to do is inhale fully and then pump the air out of you 3 times. So we'll try that a few times. You're going to inhale fully and then exhale, pump the air out. And try that again. So you'll inhale fully, exhale, pump the air. Again. Last time like this. Good, we're gonna try that same practice, but block off your right nostril with your right hand, right index finger. And then we're going to try that same breath pattern through the left nostril. Inhale and then pump the air out. Couple more. Breathe normally for a moment through both nostrils. And then with your left hand, block that nostril, and you'll take those breaths in and out the right side. Inhale and exhale out. Last time. Good. Let that hands now come and rest on your belly once again. And you can let your feet now move to the edge of your chair. And then from here, just lightly stretch the feet by letting the toes stay connected to the chair. And then your heels are going to move underneath the chair and right back out. Underneath and right back out. Underneath, right back out. Good. Let the knees now open and close. Let the knees open and close. Open and close. Open and close. Good. So now place your legs anywhere that feels comfortable to you. We're going to just take a little Shavasana. I'm experimenting here with all the possibilities a chair can provide. So I've got my feet here on the base, just adding as a little prop for the backs of my legs. If there's any little movements you want to do before you take a moment to breathe, perhaps lifting, lowering the tailbone. Maybe you want to leave your legs upright. It's practitioner's choice. So slowly, when you feel ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your wrists, circle them out. Drawing your knees over your chest. You can rock your back now side to side, front to back. You're going to let the arms float up and then roll to one side. Rest for a moment in a fetal position. And then push up with your arms and we'll find seated. Let's bring the palms together before the heart. We can bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda.